Is the new Toyota Crown a better hybrid car to buy than the Honda Accord and Toyota Camry? That's what we're going to find out. Welcome to Car Corner, where we help you, the consumer, master the process of car buying and car ownership. If you're thinking of buying a spacious, comfortable, and reliable hybrid car, then you might want to take a closer look at the new Toyota Crown. Although that name might not be too familiar, the Crown is actually a full-size sedan and a replacement for the Toyota Avalon, which is no longer in production. And there's a lot more to it than just a unique design. The Crown is actually an all-wheel drive hybrid car, which actually has a few surprises that you don't get in a similar Toyota Camry, Honda Accord, or even the Lexus ES 300h. But just because the Crown is all new, is it really a better choice than all of those other proven reliable hybrid cars? Well, that's what we're going to find out. And remember, if you enjoy and get value out of this video, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications. I post 2 videos a week, always straight to the point, valuable car buying advice designed to help you, the consumer. So as mentioned, the first thing that you need to know about the Crown is that this is an all-wheel drive, hybrid-only car. Now, it is possible that in the near future, Toyota might offer a plug-in hybrid version, but for now, the Crown is only available in 2 different hybrid versions. It's also a rather large car, around 4 inches longer and 4 inches taller than the Toyota Camry, which is already a fair-sized car. That makes it very close in size to the Honda Accord and the Lexus ES. But even though both of those cars are also available as hybrids, they don't come with all-wheel drive like you get in the Crown. And another major advantage that you get with the Crown is the impressive ride height and ground clearance. Toyota designed the Crown to appeal to SUV buyers, which is why you have more ground clearance and that higher seating position, which is something that a lot of SUV buyers like. And even though that extra height does give the Crown a somewhat unique look, I actually think it works really well. I could really see this appealing to someone who wants most of the benefits of an SUV, like the high seating position, the all-wheel drive, but they want something that's a little bit more unique and stylish. The fact is that most SUVs are rather conventional and boring to look at. They all look more or less the same. But the Crown is something different, so for someone who wants to have all those benefits, but with a little bit more style and uniqueness, the Crown is a really attractive option. Now, as mentioned, the Crown is available in 2 different hybrid versions depending on which trim level you go for. The base, XLE, and Limited trims come with the same 2-motor hybrid system that Toyota uses across most of their lineup. You have an electric motor that powers the front wheels, and a second electric motor that's connected to a non-turbo 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine, as well as a planetary gear eCVT. This hybrid system produces 236 horsepower, which is enough to get you up to highway speed in around 7.5 seconds. And you also get impressive fuel economy, around 42 miles per gallon or 5.6 liters per 100 kilometers, which is very impressive for a large, all-wheel drive car like this. But impressive fuel economy is not the only reason to go for this hybrid. The other reason is amazing reliability. Because this is such a well-proven hybrid system that Toyota has been using for so many years now, just over 2 decades, it has a very well-proven reputation for amazing reliability and is pretty much fully debugged at this point. It's essentially the exact same hybrid system that's used in the Toyota Camry, which are often used as taxis, racking up 300,000 miles without having any major issues. So even though the Crown is a brand new vehicle, you're not going to need to be concerned about it having any kinds of bugs or early teething issues because it uses very well proven technology. What's also nice is that the Crown has a very simple and maintenance-free all-wheel drive system with a simple electric motor that powers the rear wheels, so you don't have a drive shaft, a differential, or a transfer case, or all of the maintenance that goes along with that like you would have in another all-wheel drive vehicle. When it comes to fuel efficiency, reliability, and low cost of maintenance, Toyota hybrids really are among the best on the market, and the Crown is really no different. Now, as mentioned, there is a second hybrid system that you could consider. On the top of the line Platinum trim, you get the brand new Hybrid Max system. Now, there's really only one reason to go for the Hybrid Max in the Crown, and that's if you really want to have better performance. Instead of using a naturally aspirated 2.5-liter engine like you get in the regular hybrid, the Hybrid Max uses a turbocharged 2.4-liter engine, which is also used in the Highlander and a few Lexus models. And because you have that turbo engine power along with an electric motor at the front wheels and the rear wheels, it now produces 340 horsepower, which is quite a bit for a car like this. The Hybrid Max version of the Crown is able to accelerate to highway speed in around 5.5 seconds, which is around 2 seconds quicker than the normal hybrid. And not only does the Hybrid Max have a lot more power, but it also uses a conventional 6-speed automatic transmission instead of the eCVT that's found on the regular hybrid. And having a regular 6-speed automatic does make a major difference in terms of the way it feels, because it drives more or less like a conventional car with normal gear changes. Unlike the eCVT in the normal hybrid, which is known for being a little bit buzzy because it keeps the engine revs at high RPM as you're accelerating. Which is perfectly fine, that is the way it's designed to work, but not everybody likes the feel. But whichever version you go for, there's no question, you are going to get a very comfortable driving experience with the Crown. Although it does have a very sporty and aggressive look to it, it's ultimately tuned for comfort, with a very smooth and comfortable ride. Now with the Hybrid Max, you do get a little bit more technology to improve the handling, like an adaptive suspension system and a direct 4 all-wheel drive system that's able to move the power around from the front and rear wheels. But either way, this really isn't a car that's designed for ultimate handling. The Crown is really more about comfort and refinement more than anything else. So if that's what you're looking for, either version is going to be perfectly fine. And part of that refinement is a very smooth and seamless hybrid system, where you don't really even notice the transition between electric mode and gas mode as the engine is turning on and off, which is something that Toyota hybrids are very well known for. Ultimately, this is a very comfortable and satisfying car to drive, certainly more so than the Camry, and more comparable to the Honda Accord hybrid, and maybe even very close to the same level as the Lexus ES300H. Now it is worth mentioning that within the next year or so, Toyota is going to release an all-new version of the Camry, and there is a good chance that it will finally come with all-wheel drive on the hybrid version, and it might even offer the same Hybrid Max system, but in the meantime, the Crown does have those advantages. There are also some advantages to the Crown when it comes to the interior. Compared to the interior of the Camry, this is a little bit more upscale feeling, with more features and more technology. For example, the Crown comes with a new 12.3-inch touchscreen infotainment system with the new Toyota multimedia interface. It's a very good infotainment system with great looking graphics, it's very responsive and also has wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And on top of having a great touchscreen, we also have a fully digital gauge cluster behind the steering wheel, which has a lot of customizability to it and also has a great look too. But even though the Crown comes packed with technology, you don't need to rely on using screens for absolutely everything. You do have conventional controls for all of your climate control settings, which is really nice to see. And the Crown also comes equipped with a lot of active safety technology as part of Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, as well as a top-notch safety score. As a whole, the interior is very well equipped and really well designed. Although perhaps not quite as nice as the Lexus ES, it's certainly equally as good, if not better, than the Camry or the Honda Accord. The interior space is also very impressive too, although I don't think it's necessarily a lot roomier than the Camry. If you're someone who's taller or just wants to have a lot of interior space in the front and rear seats, the Crown is really going to impress. So with that, I think it's time to get to the pricing. The pricing for the Crown ranges from around 41 to 53,000 US, or 48 to 62,000 Canadian. Now that is quite expensive, especially the top Platinum trim with the Hybrid Max system. But if you look at the two normal trims, the XLE or the Limited with the normal hybrid system, the pricing is roughly halfway in between the Camry and the Lexus ES. I think the best value in the lineup is the Limited trim, which has enough features and technology comparable to that of a proper luxury car, without the crazy high pricing of the Platinum. But even so, the Crown is not a cheap car, and you are paying a premium in order to get that unique, more stylish exterior design, the all-wheel drive, and the higher ride height over the Toyota Camry. If none of those things are really that important to you, then you could save yourself around $5,000 and just get the Camry XLE Hybrid, which is going to have very comparable features. Or if you just want a more basic car, you could save yourself around $10,000 and just get the basic Camry Hybrid LE. Either way, you're going to have most of the same benefits of the Crown at a much lower price. But even though the Crown is more expensive than the Camry and also the Honda Accord hybrid, it is quite a bit less than the comparable Lexus ES300H, which really doesn't have too many benefits over the Crown, aside from a few small things that come with that Lexus badge. Again, I think the real appeal of this car is going to be for someone who wants to have most of the same benefits of an SUV. They want to have that all-wheel drive, that higher ride height, but they don't want to have that same conventional boring styling that you get with almost every other SUV. And if you do want something that's a little bit more stylish and more unique, but also comes with that amazing Toyota reliability and the fuel economy of the hybrid system, well then the Crown is a really nice option. At the end of the day, aside from the cargo space, it really does offer all the same benefits as a proper hybrid SUV, like the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid or the Venza. So if you are one of the handful of buyers that's not dead set on having an SUV, then the Crown is a car that you might want to take a look at. So is the Crown a car that you would consider buying, or would you just go for one of the other options instead? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. You can also take a look at my other car videos by clicking these links over here. Make sure to follow me on TikTok and Instagram, and if you need additional car buying advice, recommendations, or help with getting a great deal on your next new car purchase, make sure to check out carhelpcan.com. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.